Hey everyone, good to see you again. Welcome back to the channel. So today's episode, I'm going to show you how to put a light in one of your roof vents. So this might come in handy, if you need a little light somewhere and it's not convenient to get power, because most of the time at your roof vents, if it has a fan in it, it has power there. And the other option is sometimes even the non-powered roof vents, if you take down the inside trim piece, you'll find that there are power wires there. A lot of RV manufacturers run power wires there in the event that you want to put in a fan. And especially if there's an option from the factory to get a fan in that vent location, there's more than likely power wires there. So you can always take down your trim piece, look, see if you got some power wires. And of course, if they're power wires that just run through, you might want to test and see if that hot line is switched. Because if it's switched on a switch, it might not work out so well for your light, unless of course you want to use that switch for your light. So back in my bed area, I have two lights over the bed. However, there's a wall switch that operates those. And I had contemplated moving the wall switch, but I kind of like it where it's at. It's convenient, but yet once you're in bed, it's not convenient. So I thought I'd like to have a light that I can turn on while I'm up in bed without having to sit up, lean over the edge of the bed, reach down for that light switch. And this will be a little bit more convenient. So it's right up in the roof vent, and I'll show you where we're gonna mount that light and how we're gonna do it. Okay, so this is my roof vent, and obviously there's power there, so I know I can get power up behind there. And I'm gonna mount that light right up here on this side, so that as I approach the bed, the light is facing away from me. That way it's not, blinding in my eyes, or if I turn it on and someone else is out here, it's not shining towards them. And shining it towards the rear of the coach, it is just gonna light up the area that I want to light up without lighting up areas that I don't want to light up at that time. All right, so let me show you how we do this. Okay, so the first thing to do to get started, there's 4 screws right here. They are number 2 square heads, and you're gonna have to remove those 4 screws right there, right there, right there, and take off the inside trim piece. So after removing the trim piece, I installed the light strip near the bottom edge of the side where I wanted the light. Then I drilled a small hole in the side of the trim piece and used a rubber grommet to feed the wires through. You want to make sure that you use a rubber grommet, or in some way you want to keep the wires from rubbing the edge of the plastic, because with the vibration of driving down the road, the wires could rub through, and you don't want that to happen. So next I tapped into the power wires, just using these connectors that they snap over the wire, and then there's a connector that you put on the light wires that will just connect onto those. And I like that kind because if I need to take this trim piece off for some reason, I can just disconnect the wires from the light, and then I can totally remove it. I don't have to let it hang there. If for some reason I'd ever have to take it down, it's highly unlikely I'd ever have to remove it for anything, but just in case you would, I can go ahead and do that easily. So next you want to tape the wires along the plastic trim piece. You don't want those to get pinched when you try to put the trim piece back up on the ceiling. So you want to try and keep those right along the side, and you want to verify that you actually have room to do that, that your trim piece doesn't fit too tight, because if your trim piece fits too tight, you're not going to be able to do that. Now, most of the time they won't, but you'll need to check that before you try this type of installation. And then, of course, you need to carefully tuck the wires up in there and reinstall the trim piece in the ceiling. Okay, so here's the finished product. The light is up in the fan enclosure there, and right over here is my switch. Ooh, There it is. It's maybe a little bit bright, but that's okay. I'll be able to reach that at night and turn that on without having to get up out of bed to hit the light switch. All right, so there's the finished product. And you can see how it casts a nice light towards the rear of the coach and lights up the bed area pretty nice. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. And because it just shines towards the rear, you know, if I have a friend or somebody along with me and I have to turn it on at night, it won't shine out into the rest of the area and disturb them, hopefully. So, yeah, I'm very pleased with the way this turned out. I think it'll be very useful. I can turn it on from the ladder when I get up. After I get in bed, I can reach up, turn it back off, and yeah, I think it'll be a well-used addition to the coach. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I appreciate you being with me for this episode. So again, this is a Coachmen 20 XG Crosstrek, and the vents in most coaches are pretty much the same. So, you know, this should be a pretty universal upgrade that you can make to your coach. You know, as long as you have the power there, that's all you need. And you can buy any type of little strip light. One thing to remember is when you mount that light, make sure it doesn't interfere with the knob that raises the lid on your vent. You don't want a light that will interfere with that knob. My light sticks down about a 1/4 inch below the knob, so it has nice clearance, so it shouldn't interfere. Again, that was just a little tip there. Make sure you're not going to interfere with that knob or any of the controls on your fan. You know, there are some different brands, so just make sure you're not going to interfere with any of the controls for your fan or the knob that lifts the lid. All right, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Hope this helps you. Safe travels, and we'll see you on down the road.